With just a few days before the official Ferrari SF-24 car presentation, team principal Fred Vasseur gathered the staff at the Ferrari Racing Division for a collective meeting. There were no radical declarations. The French manager is very direct, making his objectives of improving and pushing the team together clear. There was no mention, at least for now, of the sensational surprise that sent shockwaves around Formula One. This is, of course, that Lewis Hamilton will arrive in Maranello in 2025. In other latitudes, you can breathe particular atmospheres, and other teams aren't without their share of drama. The events at Milton Keynes see Christian Horner under accusation for inappropriate and coercive behavior. In the background of this investigation, the presentation of the RB20 is upon us. Nothing is definitive at this stage, but Horner's exit, should it happen, would have huge ramifications. Mercedes has declared that it will radically change its car, as previously declared by James Allison. However, the team cannot be in a happy mood after the 7-time world champion's departure. The struggle between FIA and FOM is also ongoing, following the clear rejection of Andretti Global's entry request by the F1 management. Last but not least, we could add some new unpronounceable car names to the list of less good things, and we wouldn't be wrong. All in all, Ferrari, who are often prematurely declared the winners of the winter period, won by a landslide this off-season. This assessment is factual rather than based on hopes or aspirations. And yet, it would be a mistake to say the Italian team have revealed most of its 2025 plans. In 2 days, Maranello will stream the presentation of the new Ferrari SF-24. It will be a livery that goes against the trend and is highly discontinuous, with as little black as possible. Weight is no longer a major problem. As is known, the car will hit the track straight away. From Fiorano to Bahrain, the engineers will find out if the heir to the problematic SF-23 was born well. Now let's take a closer look at the key areas where Ferrari will make major changes in terms of design with its SF-24 car. The nose should not undergo major changes. However, the design of the front wing could expect a change in the direction already shown by Haas after Austin, and even more so Las Vegas, therefore recalling the Red Bull RB19. But with greater evolution. If the front wing is more efficient, you can expect the car to have achieved a good overall aerodynamic balance. Floor, Venturi inlet, and side pods. Basically, the most critical area of this generation's cars. At the beginning of 2023, Ferrari suffered brutal porpoising. The main expectation is to have solved the problem to offer greater drivability and comfort to the drivers. The lower SIS was lowered and sunk into the bottom to free up a lot of space and achieve a massive excavation under the inlets. Unlike Haas and many other cars, we would not have to review the second diverter applied to the T-tray. The outermost diverters on the sides of the Venturi inlets will have an increased geometry similar to Red Bull to protect from the wake of the front wheel. Airbox cooling. The most interesting comparison is undoubtedly with the same power unit supplied to Sauber and Haas. Both showed a new layout with the application of ears to increase entry. Intelligent trick to pass the crash test with an already well-known structure. It might seem automatic, however, we should not see this implementation on the SF-24, which would show very different cooling needs. S-duct, original engine cover, and solutions in the halo area. The aerodynamicists have worked on new solutions. It is certainly the area with the most visible differences. The SF-24 will be quite different from the 23, with the introduction of the center tray after the halo, above the sloping side pods. At the rear part of the bonnet, the exhaust will be noticeably more open. The bypass duct seen on the SF-23 remains and has been updated. Suspensions. The mechanics have certainly been revised in terms of geometries for aerodynamics, and also because now all the technicians are looking for greater anti-dive. However, the kinematics have not been distorted. The SF-24 will retain the push rod in front and pull rod in the rear, staying true to the pattern. Sauber, unlike Haas, has its own gearbox, so there has been no obstacle to applying the push-rod scheme. However, compared to what we saw from the Haas VF24, we can expect a significant update from Ferrari. Chassis 2024-25, chassis 676 and 677 run in the tunnel. This year, the technicians are forced to work on a double front, and regulatory stability allows it. Ferrari's design engineers agree that the 2026 cars will require 80% of the 2025 resources to be set aside for the 678. Teams will be allowed to begin CFD on these next-gen cars from next January. This year, Ferrari can proceed in parallel to develop the next car as soon as possible. Unless there are surprises or tricks, the budget cap will not allow the possibility of redoing a chassis that can only be used for 2025.